Moonlighter is a mix between a Zelda game and a Shopkeeper Simulator. It's super original and unique. Let's dive into it. Hello everyone, I'm Adam and welcome to TimeLag Gaming. Moonlighter retails for $30 digitally and $35 physically. Let's unbox it. In the game, you play as a boy named Will, who lives in a town called Rhinoka, and owns a shop named Moonlighter. During the night, you fight through procedurally generated dungeons, collecting loot and fighting enemies, and during the day, you are a shopkeeper, selling your loot and artifacts and running your shop. I currently have spent over 15 hours playing the game, and I'm not even halfway done. The game really does give off a link to the past vibes with its dungeons. On top of this, there are several references and Easter eggs from the Legend of Zelda games. However, it is in no way a Zelda clone. If you're worried about the somewhat roguelike elements, don't be. The game isn't really a roguelike at all. My only complaint with the game was the combat. In this game, you can only move up and down and side to side, and sort of diagonally. I'm not used to this limited movement because I've been playing a lot of Enter the Gungeon, where you have completely free movement. It can also feel a little slow at times because you have to wait for your attack animation to finish before you do anything. However, after 3 hours of playing, I actually got used to the combat, and now I actually love it. It really forces you to learn all the enemies, how they move and behave, as well as how your weapons work and their limitations. It requires skill and practice, and once you begin to master the techniques, it is extremely satisfying. There are 5 weapon types, each is unique and good at different tasks. There are also many types of armor. Weapons and armors can be unlocked and upgraded through crafting. You can also get potions and enchantments. There are 4 different dungeons, with each one having 3 floors and a boss after each one. There's also a 5th secret dungeon, I believe. Exploring the dungeons is very fun and addicting. When you die in a dungeon, you get kicked out of the dungeon and lose everything in your bag. However, you keep the main items in your top bar. When you die, you can also choose to hop right back into the dungeon again if you wish. If you're worried about the game being too hard, don't worry because there's a difficulty setting. The unique part to dungeons is anytime you are in a dungeon, you can use your amulet to teleport you back into the village unscathed. You can be seconds away from death and use it to escape with all your loot. There's also lore and story, which really helps the game feel alive and polished. Unlike other dungeon crawlers, you don't get any money from the dungeons. Instead, you have to sell your loot in your shop. There's also a quick sell feature in the dungeon, but it gives you a fraction of the money. The shopkeeper aspect of the game is extremely fun as well. I was worried it would be boring, but it's actually very engaging and addicting. There's actually depth to it. You have to learn what all the different items are worth, and you have to watch your customers' reactions about the prices. At the same time, you also have to watch out for thieves. The graphics are super clean and aesthetic. There's a great feel and atmosphere to the game. Overall, the game is amazing. It deserves way more attention because it's as good, if not better, than some of the Zelda games. I give Moonlighter a standard rating of 10 out of 10 and a worth rating of 60 out of 30. This means I think the game is worth the price of a full AAA game. The game really is that good. It's one of the best games of the year, and I highly recommend it to everybody with a Switch, especially those who love top-down Zelda games and dungeon crawlers. I'm excited to jump back into Moonlighter and discover what else it has to offer. So what do you think of Moonlighter? Does it look like a game you'd be interested in picking up? Let me know your take in the comments down below. Thanks again for watching.